You ever wonder why no matter what you do, she still seems unsatisfied? It's not about you. It's something deeper that no one ever tells you. Emotional depth is endless when we talk about satisfaction. Most people immediately think about physical gestures or material efforts. But with women, it's never that simple. Emotional depth is a vast ocean, constantly shifting, unpredictable, and immensely powerful. Women feel things differently, and their feelings are layered in ways that go far beyond surface level happiness or discomfort. Imagine a spectrum so wide that what excites her today could feel completely mundane tomorrow. That's the reality of emotional depth. And it's the first reason why women are never fully satisfied in ways men typically understand. It's not about ingratitude or being hard to please. It's about how she experiences life on an emotional level. Every small interaction, every word, every gesture carries weight that men often overlook. When she receives a compliment, it's not just the word, she's absorbing the intent behind them, the tone, the sincerity, and whether it resonates with her current emotional state. That same compliment given on another day, without that same alignment, can feel hollow. Her satisfaction is tied to alignment with her emotional world. And this world is constantly in motion. It's important to understand that women live in a state of heightened awareness. They notice subtleties that men might miss entirely, the slight change in your voice, a lingering look, the way you respond to stress or joy. All of these small cues are processed and interpreted on a deep emotional level, influencing how connected she feels. In any given moment, that connection is directly linked to her sense of satisfaction. When a man believes this effort, whether it's a gift, a favor, or a romantic gesture is enough, he often underestimates the emotional lens through which he experiences it. It's never just about the effort itself. It's about whether that effort resonates with her feelings, her expectations, and her perception of authenticity. Women are highly attuned to these emotional cues, which is why sometimes, even when everything seems perfect, she might still appear unsatisfied. It's not about what you do. It's about whether your actions are emotionally meaningful and attuned to her inner state. Another layer of this emotional depth is her need for validation of her inner world. Women want to be seen, understood, and acknowledged not just in words, but in subtle emotional affirmations. She wants to know that her feelings are valid, that her fears, desires, and insecurities are recognized. When this recognition is missing, dissatisfaction creeps in, even if all other aspects of life seem ideal from an outsider's perspective. Emotional satisfaction isn't something that can be bought or forced. It requires a consistent presence, awareness, and engagement. It requires the ability to navigate her emotional tides, sometimes calmly, sometimes with patience, and other times with careful understanding of her mood shifts. It's also crucial to note that emotional depth isn't fixed, it evolves over time. Her experiences, both past and present, shape how she feels about herself, her relationships, and the world around her. A woman's satisfaction today is influenced not just by the current moment, but by her emotional history, her expectations, and even subtle comparisons she makes with past experiences. This makes her emotional world highly dynamic and fluid. What satisfies her at one stage in life may not work at another stage. A man who fails to grasp this dynamic nature may assume that a single action or gesture can maintain her satisfaction indefinitely, which is far from reality. Emotional engagement requires constant recalibration, a willingness to adapt, and an understanding that emotional depth is endless. It cannot be measured or contained in simple formulas or predictable outcomes. Understanding this also means recognizing that women often communicate emotionally rather than logically. They may express dissatisfaction or discontent in ways that seem subtle or indirect to men, but these cues are meaningful. Picking up on these signals requires sensitivity, emotional intelligence, and the ability to empathize deeply. The emotional depth of a woman is a realm that demands more than surface-level interactions. It calls for genuine curiosity, patience, and an ongoing effort to connect with her inner world. Men who understand this can navigate her moods, celebrate her highs, and support her through lows in ways that feel truly satisfying to her, not just superficially adequate. Expectations are constantly shifting. One of the most misunderstood aspects of why women seem never satisfied is the constant evolution of their expectations. Unlike a simple checklist that stays the same, a woman's expectations are dynamic, shaped by experiences, relationships, personal growth, and societal influences. What might have made her feel deeply appreciated yesterday could feel inadequate or outdated today. This isn't about being unreasonable or impossible to satisfy. It's about recognizing that satisfaction is a moving target when it comes to women. Life changes, people change, and so do desires. Men often make the mistake of thinking that once they figure her out, her satisfaction will remain consistent, but the truth is far more complex. Women are constantly observing, learning and recalibrating their standards based on their ongoing experiences. Expectations aren't formed in isolation. They are influenced by her environment, culture, and in social circles. A woman absorbs cues from media, friends, and the broader world around her, consciously or subconsciously, and these cues shape what she considers fulfilling or attractive. A compliment that worked a year ago may feel superficial if she now values a deeper emotional connection or greater authenticity. The gifts, gestures, or attention that once made her heart flutter can lose impact if they no longer align with her evolving sense of self. This means that what satisfies a woman isn't static, it is fluid, nuanced, and heavily dependent on timing and context. Men who fail to notice this often feel frustrated, believing that their efforts go unappreciated, when in reality, the bar has shifted without any conscious communication. Another important factor is personal growth. As a woman grows, she develops new interests, values, and priorities. Her expectations grow with her, and what fulfilled her at one stage of life may no longer resonate. Emotional maturity, career ambitions, or life experiences can all influence how she perceives effort and care. A partner who doesn't adapt to these changes may inadvertently cause dissatisfaction, even if his intentions remain the same. Women are not seeking perfection. They are seeking alignment between their evolving expectations and the reality around them. But when there's a mismatch, even small gaps can feel magnified, leading to a perception that nothing is ever enough. It's also crucial to understand that expectations are not always explicitly stated. Many women assume a level of emotional intuition from their partners, believing that someone who truly understands them should naturally recognize and meet these shifting needs. This can create frustration for both sides. Men feel blindsided, and women feel unfulfilled. Satisfaction is rarely about a single act. It's about consistent awareness and adaptation. Men who learn to anticipate and respond to these subtle shifts without needing constant instruction demonstrate a deep understanding that goes beyond surface-level gestures. This ability to adapt is not about manipulation. It's about being attuned to the living, changing human being beside them. Additionally, societal pressures can amplify the perception of shifting expectations. Women are often told how they should feel, what they should want, what success in relationships looks like. These external influences blend with personal desires, creating a complex web of expectations that evolves over time. A gesture or approach that once felt satisfying can feel outdated if it no longer matches the standards set by her personal growth or societal benchmarks. Understanding this requires a mindset that embraces change rather than resisting it. Men who cling to fixed rules or rigid ideas of what pleases a woman are setting themselves up for frustration, because the reality is that a woman's satisfaction is as fluid as her experiences and influences. Finally, it's important to recognize that shifting expectations aren't a negative trait. They are a natural part of being human. Women, like men, are growing, learning, and evolving constantly. Their desire for a fulfilling connection reflects not a flaw, but a drive for authenticity and emotional resonance. Men who approach these shifts with curiosity, empathy, and patience find that satisfaction is not elusive. It's attainable through understanding and adapting to the natural evolution of her expectations' desire for connection, not just action. One of the biggest misconceptions men have about women's satisfaction is the belief that it comes from action alone, buying gifts, doing favors, or performing certain gestures. While these actions can certainly create temporary excitement, they rarely touch the deeper layers of fulfillment that women truly crave. At the core of satisfaction lies connection, a profound emotional bond that goes beyond material gestures or superficial attention. Women are wired to seek resonance with their inner world, and if that emotional alignment is missing, no amount of effort will ever feel enough. It's not that they are hard to please or ungrateful, it's that their satisfaction is fundamentally relational, not transactional. Connection begins with being seen and understood. Women want to feel that their inner thoughts, fears, desires, and dreams are acknowledged by their partner. This isn't just about listening, it's about perceiving the nuances behind her words, her body language, and even her silences. When a man acts without this level of understanding, the actions themselves can feel empty even if they are well-intentioned. A dinner, a compliment, or a gift may bring a fleeting smile, but it cannot satisfy the deeper need for emotional intimacy. True satisfaction comes from knowing that someone is fully present with her, fully attuned to her emotional state, and genuinely engaged in creating a shared experience of connection. Empathy plays a crucial role in this dynamic. Women are often more emotionally expressive, and they expect their partners to meet them at that level of vulnerability. This doesn't mean always agreeing or solving problems immediately. It means validating her emotion, showing compassion, and being willing to navigate the emotional highs and lows alongside her. When empathy is present, actions are amplified by meaning. They are no longer empty gestures, but expressions of genuine care. Men who fail to cultivate this emotional connection may notice that their efforts no matter how consistent or grand, seem to fall short. The reason is simple. The gesture alone doesn't satisfy the emotional need that drives her perception of fulfillment. Another key aspect of connection is communication on a deeper level. Women desire conversations that go beyond the mundane. Discussions that touch on values, dreams, fears, and shared experiences. These conversations create a sense of intimacy that strengthens the bond between partners. Without this depth, actions feel transactional, disconnected from the emotional context that gives them value. This is why, even in relationships where men are attentive and generous, women may still appear dissatisfied. They are responding to the absence of meaningful connection, not to the absence of effort. Understanding this distinction is essential for creating lasting fulfillment. Trust is intertwined with connection, and it profoundly impacts a woman's sense of satisfaction. Emotional connection is built on trust, the assurance that her vulnerability will be met with respect, care, and understanding. When trust is present, actions are interpreted through a lens of sincerity, and satisfaction naturally follows. Without trust, even consistent effort can feel hollow because it lacks the emotional framework that validates her experiences. Women are highly attuned to authenticity, and they quickly sense when actions are performed out of obligation rather than genuine engagement. Satisfaction, therefore, is less about quantity or frequency of gestures and more about the emotional integrity behind them. Finally, it's crucial to recognize that connection is a continuous process, not a one-time achievement. Women's desire for connection evolves as they grow, as relationships deepen, and as experiences shape their emotional world. Men who maintain a static approach, relying solely on actions without nurturing the underlying emotional bond, may find that satisfaction remains elusive. True fulfillment comes from the ongoing effort to understand her, engage with, and meet her on a level that transcends the physical and the superficial. When connection is prioritized, satisfaction becomes a natural byproduct of emotional resonance, empathy, and the shared experience of being fully seen and valued.